Hey everyone, I am here kind of bringing you a year in review. I was inspired by a friend's nonprofit that did this, and I just think it's a really great way to kind of look and see what we've done, where we've gotten, where we've come from in this calendar year. I know the news and media is always full of like, look at how we grew and what we did. And so I just want to offer that and bring that in as part of herbalism and part of who I am as a business person and a community member. So 2020 was my 6th year in business. It was also my 10th year studying herbs. And so I think that this is a great time to start doing these kind of reviews and hope to do more. It was also a huge year for society, for humanity. I mean, gosh, who didn't have a hard year, who wasn't tried with the events of 2020 coronavirus? And all that it brought. I think it created a really interesting environment for all of our work and all of who we are, and really tested us in a lot of ways. I got to start the year off at Alamany Farm, which is a really rad urban farm, if you don't know it, in San Francisco. And they welcomed me there to start a medicine garden. There had been an existing herb garden, which I started working adjacent to. And that was also in tandem with a 6-part course that took place over about 3 months that was called Grow Your Medicine. And it was a class that I have taught many times, but this was the most in-depth, hands-on kind of all hands on deck kind of experience. So we were at Alamany Farm for a couple hours, 2 Saturdays a month, and that was really great. People were really excited and involved, and we started all these plants in the greenhouse, and it was halfway through when COVID hit. So we had to end up doing a lot of that online, and it meant that I ended up establishing the garden on my own, which was quite a lot of work, but I did manage to get the plants into the ground, which was the intended plan. And that happened in kind of late May, early June. So we got the garden established. Let me just share with you a picture from that. This is Alamany Farm's website. So if you are unfamiliar with Alamany Farm, you can come here, alamanyfarm.org, and check it out. You can also reach out to me, and I have a little Google form where people fill out their info, and then I let them know about work days. This is a picture from the herb garden back in October. So it's fairly established. It's just this front area right here. And I think that it is a really wonderful way to be greeted. This area was formerly underutilized. It would have wild flowers in the spring and then all kind of die back over the summer. So we installed irrigation. I painted these signs in Spanish and English. And yeah, just got a lot of plants to really just establish there. So that was a really, really, really fun project to work on. Simultaneously in spring, I helped write and create this PDF, which you can find by going to bit.ly/boil roots. It is a kind of rundown of all the different ways that we can support ourselves with the herbs that are already in our kitchen. It was it was a collaborative project, and it was guided by Gina Badger of Long Spell Herbs, and all these wonderful people added their wisdom to it. It's currently going under a bit of a review and just additions, but when the pandemic hit, we weren't really sure exactly what was going on and how to support ourselves. But as herbalists and as kitchen witches, as Gina likes to say, we have a lot of stuff in our kitchen. So, you can click over here and just find an herb that maybe can support your lungs or support your cardiovascular system or your immune system that you might already have. So, mullein, marshmallow root, those are kind of common herbs, but then you can even go, and find your local eucalyptus tree and do a steam. So this was a really incredible project. It's many, many pages long. There's a whole index at the end about finding clinical herbalists in your area. And speaking of which, in our local area, Bayheart has become a part of my life and something that I feel passionate about as far as really what community herbalism is all about. We are a group of folks who are all trained as clinical herbalists, and we, put our heads together right at the beginning of the pandemic, and we actually put together a herbal hotline, which runs all the time every Monday through Friday. And so I'm a part of that, along with a lot of other local herbalists. And this just came out of folks wanting to collaborate and wanting to share their knowledge, and during this time of crisis. So, we started it with COVID, and then, shortly after COVID was really coming out, we noticed, this is just proportionately affecting people of color and low income folks, and, trying to support those groups. And then the movement for Black lives, really opened up again, and supporting folks who are protesting and who have emotional grief coming up, and really trying to, do our part as community members and as a team. So that was another big part of my year, and I'm still organizing with them. We just had a fire cider fundraiser. If you're interested, you can head over to Bayheart and navigate to our web store that's run by the Community Medicine Cabinet, and there's a few bottles left if you're interested. Speaking of which, I also know during 2020 I got to do something really fun, which was make medicine that was alcohol free. And so I'm proud to say on my website there are a bunch of new tinctures. There's catnip, chamomile, holy basil, mullein, and yarrow that are all alcohol free. I started making these tinctures with my students in mind. They're teenagers and they can't have alcohol. So thinking about what would be a palatable and, preserving way to make a tincture. And I decided on apple cider vinegar and glycerin, and I found an organic source of glycerin. And so I started making these with a lot of the herbs I was growing at Alamany. So yeah, it's been a really incredible year. I would have to say, to be an herbalist. I'm really proud that I was able to offer my services and support. I'm totally humbled to continue to work with my clients in private practice. I learn every time. We've been doing weekly volunteer days at Alamany, and I learned from folks there. It's always an intergenerational crew, and it's always people who are really passionate and bring all of their own stories and knowledge. So that's been a really fun way to build community. And I've been really just noticing people showing up for herbs and, kind of putting their money where their mouth is. I've seen that in COVID, in the movement for Black lives, during difficult election season, with all the stress and anxiety and insomnia and isolation that we have had this year. People are reaching for plants and reaching out to each other and connecting, and that's what the plants are all about. That's what they're here for. They're here to share their gifts, and we're to share our gifts. So I really I want to thank you all as my Patreon supporters. Your support has made my life possible this year. I think many, many, many people have had insecure income, and to know that you're here supporting every month means the world to me. I literally could not do this without you. I thank you for voting with your wallet, for showing up in what you believe in, and for investing in preventative medicine. For folks who are on the Moon Goddess level subscription, your December boxes will be shipping very shortly. I have those coming together, which are, as fun as always. I've got alcohol-free tinctures in there, seeds, some info, some freshly dried bay leaves. So those will be with you. And yeah, thank you for allowing the plants to bring us together in 2021. I'm excited to offer some more apprenticeship slots. I will be offering an in-person, socially distanced grow your medicine course again at Alamany Farm. I'll continue to work with Bayard and with my clients in private practice. I'll continue to grow medicine and make medicine and pray to this one beautiful, gorgeous planet that we get to live on together. So thank you, thank you, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. May the plants bless.